Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the OK Grognard Show. It is Tuesday, September 29th, 2020, 10 a.m. Central in beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Of course, it's Tuesday, which makes it Cartography and Worldbuilding Day. New time, new day. Hey, how you doing, George? Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming out. Yeah, and surprise, surprise, after what seems like 2 or 3 months straight of world building stuff on Cartography and World Building Day, I thought I'd better spend a little time doing something about cartography. And here we are. You know what? Let's hold off on that for now. Let's hold off on that for now, too. We'll look at that first. There we go. We've got some cool stuff from Crooked Staff Publishing, which is nifty because Chris is trying something new. He's done dungeon tiles for over a decade and adjusted those to be able to be used in that 2.5D format where they're, not like full blown 3D printed tiles with high walls and everything, but just laying low, set it up. Tiles you can put in a bag and just throw out there and put them together quickly. And they're really cool. And he's done some other things. He experimented with some walls just in a kind of a tableau way, I guess, would be walls on one side of an area, like in a mine, so that you could put a sort of a wall up and then add a second level to something. I should actually pop over. So part of what I'm going to tell you today is about his Patreon page. So I'm going to go over there real quick, and because there I can show you. Oh yeah, he's running a Barrow Maze game on the regular. If you're a Patreon supporter at a certain level, you can jump on in, sign up for his game. There's that cool puzzle he made with. He also made a form fillable sheet so you could create your own words instead of just using the ones he created. So you kind of modify the puzzle. So he's working on this thing with the prototype walls, which is kind of neat. These walls slide in. Let's see. I'm not sure how much of this I can actually show. So there's the puzzle, the handout as is, or with the form fillable. These are things that are available if you're a Patreon supporter. But I wanted to go back a little further. So this is more typical of his 2D mapping and tiles, which is all very cool. And of course, no color printing necessary for those if you don't want to, because they're primarily gray. I mean, he throws in some other color things for particular effects, magic circles, some blood splatter, things like that. Spatter. But mainly, what you're going to be looking at with Chris's stuff is just this nice. And the tiles are a little less ink intensive, so that's just a map of a bunch of tiles put together to show you what can be done with them. But here's the thing. Oh, there's cave tunnels. Oh, he's got a lot of modular. They're almost like the old where you could geomorphs, put them together, turn them in different, put them together in different ways. This is like a double. The ones that are longer or wider are like doubles, but this one's square. So it's got entryways on three sides, always on that kind of to the left in this case for these. So here's what I was talking about with some of that tableau style dungeon wall stuff. Now these things you can pop on over to Crooked Staff, and he goes by Crooked Staff Terrain, but originally it was Crooked Staff Publishing, and I think, yep, that's what you'll see over on DriveThru RPG. I'll put links for both of these things in the show notes in case you have an interest in checking it out. Yeah, he's got a lot of neat stuff, and he's not making a fortune off of these. In fact, his offerings on DriveThru RPG are almost invariably pay what you want, and if you're a Patreon supporter, he says just go over there, put in $0, grab it. You're supporting me over here. It's either or. When I was first picking up stuff from him, I checked some things out occasionally, and if they were cool, I'd definitely kick a buck. And if you want to download first, and then go back and kick a buck and download it again, just to for your own peace of mind, to have a look at his stuff before. He encourages that, so feel free to feel good about it, right? Rats in the Cellar, little adventure he put together. This is neat. These are the mine tiles, which he did a little bit different. They don't have a wall per se. They're just cut out more like they're cavernous, crudely dug out. These are kind of neat. These are all papercraft. All of these things. The wagon, the turnstile, the mine supports, the end of the tracks bumper. You build all of these with cardboard or foam board and then printed paper. Now this you need color for, right? You want browns and stuff for certain things. There's the adventure, mine tiles, things like that. This is all stuff that's available on, to his Patreon supporters. But anything that's like a completed page that can be printed is generally also going to be found on his DriveThru site. And he's got all sorts of stuff. He's been experimenting with different stuff over the years. Like I said, he's been at it, I don't know, probably a decade and a half. I think I first ran into Chris on EN World 15 years ago. Maybe he's only been doing it 12, but it's more than a decade. Go down to newest titles if you're looking for something that just recently popped up on his Patreon. Go down to newest titles on DriveThru and you'll see what's there. This is that puzzle handout. Go check that out. That's just really nifty. And of course it's papercraft, so you still mount it on foam board or on cardboard, and you cut out the pieces, and you're basically making little Scrabble pieces, right? And then it forms words and it becomes a puzzle. Pretty neat. The mine tiles are the more recent stuff. Mine tiles. Then every now and then you'll see a virtual tabletop edition of a map. So you can you can pick up this map and there'll be a file in there that sets it up for virtual tabletop for fog of war, dynamic lighting, that sort of thing. You'll see if you run games online, that's a huge time saver to have that. And if the map is cool and it's something you can use, jump right in, right? Here's a bunch of textures, more tiles going back. You can see all of these different things, and he has videos up on YouTube to show you how to build stuff, which is all cool. Let me bring it back over here now. There we go. This here is this is a store, right? Is this the store one? Yeah, this is the store. So there's 2 floors to the store, because the upstairs of the store is where the shopkeeper lives, right? Maybe with a small family, a wife, kids, husband, kids, Maybe no kids, just the couple who run the store downstairs. There's a counter. Big door here, so you can open that up and let people come in and check things out. Or maybe this is the open side. What do you think? There's a chair behind the counter. You would think that would be for somebody sitting all day. Plus, you don't want them to have access to the upstairs. Probably big doors in the back because that's where you move stock in and out, where you load in the latest orders. Plus, you want people to be able to see stuff, look at the stuff on the tables and on the walls, on the racks. There's shelves over here. This is definitely the retail area, which is pretty cool. He also did a chapel, which is nifty, right? There's an undercroft there. Lower level, upper level. It all lines up nicely. It's all gridded. Can print these out, use them on the table, print them the right scale, right? Another ladder going up to a trapdoor there, so there's a spire. And this stuff's just available on his Patreon. I don't think this is available on DriveThru RPG yet. I'm sure at some point it probably will be, but if you're on Patreon, you get access to everything. So that might be the way to go if you don't mind kicking him a few bucks a month, and you're sure to get 3, 4, 5, 6 great things, whatever it is. Depends how productive he is in a month. But there's always something. And like I said, the guy's been at it 12, 15 years, and he's just constantly putting out more and more stuff. You go to DriveThru RPG, you see how deep his offerings are over there. You saw all those different categories he had to create. Over there, like 15, 20 categories. So this, though, is a PDF of a place you can visit. There's that general store. Let's see, I want to get over here. And there's the chapel, and they're numbered and keyed. So this is a DM's view of these locations. The others you can just print out and use for players, or, use them online if you're running a thing. I haven't seen the last stop yet. I would have grabbed that map if I had. I probably just missed it. I'll bet it's over there already. These others are on there, so pretty nifty, and he's already done it. In fact, you got to do it the other way to then key it and put it on a PDF, right? So he's already done the work. It must be there, and I must have just missed it. Pretty neat, though. Tavern, kitchen, bathhouse, and privy. Got to put a privy in. Got to make it real, baby. Got to make it real. Crooked Staff. He does such good stuff. Anywho, go check that stuff out on DriveThru on his Patreon and figure out what you want to do. Let's see. We'll kick that off. Where else are we at here? I think we are... Oh, I should talk a little bit about my... Is this the right one? No, that's GameholeCon. I want virtual GreyhawkCon. There we go. Hey, yeah, update on that. I did put up that event, as you know, from yesterday, watching the show. I put it up while we were here. It's up. It's been approved. I think it's already half full. It's going to happen pretty quickly, so if you're interested, hop over there. Or maybe I'll only ever get 3. I don't know. We will see. Let me just double check. I should check while I'm on this here, because I can give you an update to the minute. Insteading with the Giants, first edition, level 9 plus. Let's see. Event schedule. Oh, I should look at my schedule, because then I don't have to search the whole thing. Pop on over there. 3 tickets, 3 of 6 seats are full. So do yourself a favor. If you're not doing something on Saturday, you want to play a little first edition. I think the virtual Greyhawk convention fee is like $3, $3.12 with tax, I think, or whatever it is. All of that's going to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. So it's a good cause. He's not looking to make money off of this. He's just charging to essentially be able to use the interface, because Tabletop Events has needs. So they get their fee, and then the rest of it goes to St. Jude's. So nothing in the Greyhawk convention coffers, because it's a fan convention. They're not selling Greyhawk in a new form to us. They're just enjoying the setting that Gary made and playing in his sandbox, if you will. And Gary would love that. Heck, some of these guys, Jay, for instance, 40 years he's been running a Greyhawk campaign. And you can see that on the Lord Gosumba Twitch stream weekly, and some of that will be some of the featured events at Virtual Greyhawk Convention. So look for Jay Scott's events. I find if you change the... Here, let's do this. I find if you change... Go to the schedule. In fact, go to... Yeah, there we go. Event schedule. If you change it to this timeline view, then you can go through each day. There's a little scroll bar at the bottom. Right? So you can see each day all this stuff. You can see the highlighted streams. These are the ones that are going to be featured on the Twitch channel live. The OK Grognard Show will be doing that from 11 to noon Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, as per usual. The new usual. Then you can go to Saturday. Once again, the OK Grognard Show. And then, where's that at? Here it is. I didn't want to step on Grodog's shoes, because he's running a 1E game too. And I started at 2 Eastern, 1 Central. I'm ending at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, in time to finish up before this Greyhawk All-Stars show, which would be the Saturday evening, run by Lord Gosumba, Jay Scott. It'll include Luke Gygax, Eric Mona, Anna Meyer, Steve Chenault, Gary Hollian. Is it Hollian or Holian? That might be Holian. Chuck Cumbo. That is a alliterative name with excellent consonants in that name, says Mark Clover. Hard K sound. Room for 200 in this. Obviously, watching the stream is... Look at all these people that were part of Con of Champions helping out. 155 tickets available. So, 200 just a number picked out of the air. Anybody, they can have more if you want. If you want to go watch these guys play first edition. If you want to watch Luke Gygax play Son of... I think my time is slotted Saturday. Otherwise, I'd jump in. No, that's cool, Jared. No, I thought yours was. What's up, Hobbsy? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I did change the time. We are officially 10 a.m. every day going forward. That'll work out pretty well for Virtual Greyhawk Con and Autumn Revel the week after. We'll be doing Saturday and Sunday shows as part of part of the convention. These are essentially seminars, and these aren't Seinfeld shows. These are not shows about nothing. But there you go. There's the timeline view of Saturday. We'll take a look at Sunday real quick. What's on Sunday? Rules retrospective. That wasn't me testing you. That was me grasping around trying to remember what Sunday was. Because I'm a knucklehead. A lot of stuff on the schedule. There's still some seats and various things, so do yourself a favor. If you don't have other plans for Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, sign up for Virtual Greyhawk Con and do some gaming from your computer chair. Some virtual tabletop gaming, or just sit on some seminars. Anna Meyer is going to be running a mapping seminar. She has a whole Greyhawk project online that you can check out. It's so detailed. It's so wonderful. And she's very meticulous about digging into all the sources and checking with the various, and I'm going to put air quotes on this, Greyhawk scholars. And I only put the air quotes because I don't know that there's any sort of official, I don't think anybody's a card carrying. I mean, certainly there are people that have been cognizant of Greyhawk for years and have read and turned over every stone and know much more about it than bless his heart, Gary would probably remember if he was still with us, because there's just so much that's been produced over the years. And of course, at a certain point, the mantle was taken up by guys like Eric Mona and other fellows who worked on it with Wizards of the Coast, and then with Paizo while they were running the magazines, and the Living Greyhawk campaign during 3rd edition certainly produced a lot of material. That was run for years. I was playing in that in the 2000s. That was the default setting for 3rd edition 3.5 as well. And the Living Greyhawk campaign was a blast. There was also what was it called? Living City? Does anybody remember? There was a Forgotten Realms, I think, mainly took place in Waterdeep. I think the adventures were set up there, and they called it Living City because of that. That was a Forgotten Realms campaign that ran. I don't think that had the same, why should I say that? I don't really know. My perception at the time, and this may be colored by the fact that I played in it, was that the Living Greyhawk campaign was more active or had more members. But I don't know. I can't verify that. So it could just be me looking back with a rose-colored blindfold and not knowing the facts. Happens all the time. Guys like me spouting off, acting like we know stuff when we don't. Okay, Grognard. I should, this is like show 201, right? It's, I should actually have started doing that on show 1. Like at some point during the stream, just give myself a, okay, Grognard. And then it'd be like an Easter egg in every episode. But we're 200 in now, and 201, and didn't start it then. Do we start a new tradition? Slip it in? How about if I just randomly do it whenever the mood takes me and I'm taking myself a little too seriously? I'll give myself the okay, Grognard, just to straighten my ass out a bit. Anywho, Virtual Greyhawk Con, going to be fun. doing a little extra research. Rue Emerson, 1999. This was written. Of course, I'm reviewing the modules, the original Giants against the Giants. Well, Steading and Glacial Rift and... What's the fire one called? Can't remember off the top of my head. But there were 3, and then they got collected into Against the Giants in 83. And then it was revisited during 4th edition. There were a lot of changes in it. Revisited again, the Giants in 5th edition as well. But this was written in 99. So this comes right as 3rd edition was breaking, I guess. So I don't know. It's a narrative. It doesn't really count as one edition or another, but it was written, 20 some odd years after the original adventures were revealed, used as tournament modules, and then released into the wild, sold as adventure modules for home DMs to use. And all of that stuff, all of that material from everything has helped inform this adventure I'll be running on Saturday. So don't think you can just reread one of those adventures and know everything that's going to be happening, because there's stuff from everywhere and stuff of my own inspiration, inspired by the various adventures, and it should be fun. So come on out, have fun. Clock on the wall says it's about time to go. So any questions? It's almost David S. Pumpkins time again, isn't it? Getting close on Halloween. We're about a month away from that. That'll be fun. I should bust out the haunted hostelry. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. That's a sort of a campaign thing. Well, is it setting? It's an adventure. It's an adventure I've used at the game table that takes place in Grimwald. So we'll call it a setting campaign thing. We can discuss that a little bit. Sort of a haunted house adventure. That's a fun one. Wonder if we get that in time for Autumn Revel. It's not a Greyhawk thing, so obviously it wouldn't be useful this weekend anyway. Anywho, there we do. Another episode under our belts. That just means we can say thank you very much for dropping in, checking out the show. It's much appreciated. Thanks for following the channel. Thanks for chiming in on the stream chat. You do all that stuff, we get you on a little list that we like to call the giveaway list. We are on... we've had a good crowd. Good crowds lately. And I'm talking weekly because not everybody's going to be out every day. Let me get Hobbsy up on the list for this week. And don't forget that new schedule, Hobbs. Everything's at 10 a.m. from now on. 9:30 was just too taxing for my frail old body. Hope to see you at the con this weekend. Hey there. Cato or Cato? 01. You're following the show, we'll put you on the list there for the potential giveaway. Give me a first name. You're not a bot. Cato. Cato or Cato, I said, right? So Cato. Eric, groovy, man. We get you on the list here. Thank you very much for joining us. And if You're here tomorrow, 10 a.m. We'll be talking campaign discussion, and on Thursday, GMing tips. Friday's about building adventures. We've got GM reviews on Saturday when we look at something gamer adjacent with the perspective of a GM. Rules retrospective comes on Sunday. The weekly news and announcements every Monday. Back around to Cartography and Worldbuilding on Tuesday. If you're catching up with this over on the YouTubes, thank you very much there too. Please do subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up. Maybe make a comment. You got some constructive criticism. It can always be helpful to the show, and we appreciate it. We like to make the show better whenever we can. It is the OK Grognard Show from beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Bye-bye.